Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Elden Ring Nightreign reaction. I did not honestly expect there to be more than one of these, but apparently there is. I mean, there's of course plenty of songs, but specifically Spinrift wanted me to get to these from my executive producers, so of course I'm going to be listening to this. This is Heolstor the Nightlord. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that word. I feel like I'm just going to end up degrading it to holster over time. I think that's actually where that word came from. It would not be surprised if that was like an Anglo-Saxon sort of thing that we've just slowly gentrified as Americans, as we do, and became holster. But I'm gonna try to say Heolstor if I ever keep bringing up the word, but usually I just say it during the intros. Either way, I'm gonna be listening to this theme, and I suppose without further ado, let's go! After hearing Caligo's theme, I'm very much high in expectations here. I like this slow breathing energy at the beginning of this song. Just like immediately. The swelling is super useful to like get you in the mood for the scene you're about to deal with. Oh, there's our dissonance. Lots of counter harmony too, so just really cementing that separation and sorrow in the theme just right out the gate. I feel like that's pretty consistent for Elden Ring stuff. I've only heard the two themes, so but just knowing enough about this series, that would track. I got that like heartbeat in the percussion there. Starting to add some more tension. Again, these swells, this like time it's taking, and it's got this 3/4 feel to it, so it's got this danciness to it, that waltz feeling. Kind of adds to that tragic energy as well. Beautiful solo there. Oh. Transition moment. I think the hardest part for me on these songs is never knowing how intense they're gonna get, because I don't know what that character is, like what their vibe is, you know? God, there it is. That feels like the battle's begun. Oh, God, that like heavy, like dissonant pitch drop off there on that high note. That's blending all of those sections from the first part together here. And now with the chorus on it too. kind of acting like a glue for the rest of them, actually. Okay. We had some, like, rhythmic dissonance on that, too. That crash cymbal that was offbeat. It's almost like signifying cracks forming, you know? Having little things go wrong. Same thing with that vocal that just kind of teetered off on that high note. Oof. Okay. Okay. Speed and tension. Okay. Yep. Daddy's officially upset. You can feel the struggle in this section a lot more. It's not just tragic, it's fighting with their last breath at this point. It goes from being like an emotional struggle to a physical one to keep active, because like that's your last chance. Harpsichord. Throw that in. These intense hits and that emotional wash. That's every strike. You're trying your hardest. But then being tired and having to like hold your sword down like, ugh. And then you gotta try again. Oh man. I'm getting such a vivid image of this battle from this song. Oh. Oh, that really low bass resonance. That's almost a sub bass. It was down there. Might have been the north end of a sub bass. I wonder if that was an actual instrument or a synth. If it was, it must have been like a double contrabass. That thing was huge. Very low note. Not a standard instrument for sure. And like through those impacts there too, there was like that struggling in the vocal line again. Just a little bit of that energy teetering out. Oh man, that might be better than the Caligo theme. That was really, really good. So this hands down might be the most vivid image I've gotten of a battle while listening to something. I'm not the type of person that tends to get like actual vivid imagery in my mind when I'm hearing something. I just get the idea of the emotional placement of a song when I listen. And for this one, I was getting like very specific beats of the interaction here. I don't know how accurate I am with like that whole section there where like it feels like they're doing their last attempt at striking and just being exhausted in between. It would definitely make sense in the placement of the song, how long they had been fighting up to that point. And it's just that essence of the last attempt, that last hurrah that you have, putting everything and your all into those final attacks and hoping that you're going to be successful, even though that might be the very last thing you do. Just that stress is personified really well in this song, and I'm sure a lot of the Elden Ring songs are like that. I've heard some other themes from the Demon Souls franchise in general. I've seen a few of the Dark Souls games played, I've seen Bloodborne played, so I'm aware of them, but I haven't really paid attention to the soundtracks in any of them. them for any specific reason. So this is kind of still a fresh experience for me, for especially how close they pay attention to every single detail in that character. I'm sure they pay a lot of attention to their backstories and try to implement those ideas into the tracks. And for this one, especially with how vivid it was, I'm guaranteeing that they spent a lot of time getting this character's backstory locked into this sound and making sure that it reflected them as a character. Even though they are probably something completely different by the time you face them, they're really trying here to make that personality shine through, so you can almost connect with them on a deeper emotional level despite what you're doing. Even though I'm sure you learn about their backstories before you fight them in most cases, there's still that essence of not being able to put it into words until you actually experience them and see what they've become. And to me, that's exactly what music is there for, as an aid. When you don't have a dialogue that's super long, even if there is one or maybe not one at all, depending, music can fill that void very, very well if done properly. And of course, like I said, this song did that extremely well. If I'm getting that vivid of an image, I'm sure that in the context of actually fighting this character, you are easily getting that vivid of an image and understanding why everything is happening here, and it just all makes sense in that context. Obviously, lacking that context, I can only go so far and guess so much, but hopefully I'm at least in the ballpark there. This sounds like somebody who's just tired. You know, like a lot of these bosses, I assume, are very exhausted. I'm assuming whatever they go through in the game is probably equivalent to hell, if not literally in some cases, but again, I'm not fully sure there. Whatever it is, this character sounds broken down, exhausted by the end of it. Even though the song started with a lot more of like an emotional breath to it, and there was a lot of room there, and you're just building up your expectations of what you're about to deal with, you're getting kind of a little bit of that backstory in there too. Somebody who was probably much more peaceful and calm up until something happened, and that's when the song and the fight kicks in. There's a lot more aggression to it, there's a lot more power to it, but then as it goes on, that exhaustion sets in. You realize that they're tired and they're using everything they've got, and by the end of it, you're revisiting some of those motifs from the first section, and you're like, okay, they're taking their final breaths. What started out as their general motif and their story, and just feeling that energy, you're now getting to re-experience that, but from the other side of that war, and you get to put everything into context about what they just went through, because you're getting that entire story by fighting them. It brings you through their whole life story, I think, which is probably the coolest part about these songs so far, is how well they do that. I've only heard two, but both of them have been extremely, extremely good at getting that across. So props to the composer here. Brilliant job. I'm sure I'll end up hearing more at some point in the future, but I think I'm done talking about him today. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you want to request something else from Elden Ring, by all means, drop it in the comments below and I'll do my best as always to get to those. Or if, like Spindrift did, you want to guarantee that I listen to something, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. There's a tier that will force me to listen to anything from any game by anyone. If it's good or bad, that doesn't really matter. That's why it's a guaranteed request. But if you don't want to do any of that and maybe you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!